Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Virgo energy. We're going to read it from a couple different perspectives because people have free will, and some people harness high vibe Virgo energy, some people harness a more worldly focused Virgo energy, and some people harness a much more shadowy Virgo energy. So, um, it could be a battle within yourself to align with your high vibe nature or your more worldly or shadowy nature. You might be a Virgo or cross watching for a Virgo, and you might find out you're the one who harnesses high vibe Virgo energy. We all tap into all the different traits and characteristics of the zodiac signs at different times, and it just is, are we aligned with truth and love and a higher truth and justice in the world? Or are we still caught up in the illusion of the world and more driven by our ego or our lust or our greed or our immature, indulgent, prideful, egotistical, petty, envious, jealous, blame everyone else for our problems nature? So, what do we got going on? Well, the first couple cards came out not showing themselves, and the reason those came out is because of what we're motivated and inspired to invest in. And the Seven of Pentacles is Taurus energy, and that kind of has to do with our underlying philosophy of life. It dictates, we all, have been kind of brought up and ingrained and patterned to perceive the world the way we perceive it. And that's our Taurus energy. It dictates the decisions that we make in our life because we have this philosophy of life. What are people motivated and inspired by? In a more worldly focused Taurus energy, it would be, and in their Virgo energy, that their long-term goal and what they're motivated and inspired by is to work with the things of the world. That's what's most important. I have to work with the things of the world. My long-term goal is to be like a king of pentacles, king of the world, male or female. I want the status, the image, the money, the security, all those things, but I'm not going to harness high vibe Virgo energy to live my life being consciously aware of why I take the action that I take. That's where the difference between people who are awakened and people who are unawakened. Other people are just still caught up in the illusion of the world, driven by the world. They haven't maybe looked at life from a higher perspective. Some of them don't have hope and faith and belief in love. Some of them look at relationships as like an investment. Are you good for my status or my image? Will you indulge me in a relationship? Are you kind of prideful and egotistical and materialistically driven? Are you going to indulge me being more ego and materialistic driven in a relationship? Some people don't want to put work and effort into growing and maturing themselves. They want to get relationships so they look like victorious and successful, want to get certain jobs because of the status and the image. It's not really being consciously aware, maybe, of really thinking about what would really inspire them outside of ego and image and money. Some people aren't even motivated by love. Maybe don't believe in love. Maybe don't think there's any higher purpose to being on this planet other than what the world tells us is the point. And the world is kind of represented by the devil, which is it's all about the money and the materialism and the status and the image and the ego and indulging yourself. Some people don't believe in love. Some people have given up on their dreams. And it's all about indulging themselves in the world. And other people are motivated and inspired to grow to their full potential. I am willing to gain insight and understanding about why I do what I do. Because why do we do what we do? Because of our past life experiences, past pain and heartbreak, and those things can either keep dictating our decisions, or in our Virgo energy, we can be motivated and inspired to take a look at our foundation that we operate from, to listen to our intuition, to grow and mature ourselves, and to learn lessons in life and keep growing and maturing ourselves. And some people have no interest in change. They have no interest in doing things any differently than they've been doing it. So let's go see what these cards are. The high vibe people are going to harness these cards that are not showing themselves in a high vibe way. And the other people harness them in a more shadowy, worldly way. And, that's the thing of living in this world of duality and like the veil. We don't know the truth necessarily of what motivates and drives other people because people can lie. Some people don't even know themselves. And we can project our traits and qualities and characteristics onto other people, like, oh, I'm sure they'd make decisions out of love. I'm sure they're motivated by justice and fairness. I'm sure that they want to have their dreams come into reality based on love, and they don't. And until we really get to know people, we don't find out what the truth is about what they hide. And the people who are in shadowy energy don't realize that some people harness these energies in a high vibe way because they don't. And so if they don't, they think other people don't. And other people who harness these energies in a high vibe way maybe tend to think other people harness them in a high vibe way also, and they don't. So what is behind the Ace of Wands? Why people are maybe thinking of taking action right now? Five of Cups in reverse. Some people are inspired to invest in new beginnings because they're over being in regrets about the past and the relationships in their past that didn't work out. The other people are motivated to get new relationships and new things because other people weren't willing to work with them, but they're not over the fact that those people weren't willing to work with them. And they think by getting in a new relationship, that will help them get over the regrets of the past, but that's not true. You can get in a new relationship and it can all feel great, and the endorphins are flowing, but it doesn't really, the only way to get over our regrets of the past is to take action about those regrets of the past, to love ourselves and believe in ourselves and offer ourselves all the things that we wish they would have offered us so that we heal. And the other people think, I can just ignore it and it'll go away. I'll just go get in a new relationship. What type of foundation are people operating from? The high vibe people have done work within themselves to change. They did the work to get over the relationships in the past that didn't work out. They still have hope and faith and belief in their dreams. They've looked at life from a higher perspective. They know they can't change other people, that the only person they could change was themselves. So they did the work, invested the time, energy, and effort to take inspired action about the relationships in their past that didn't work out the way they wanted, to love and believe in themselves, to look at life from a higher perspective, and believe that the divine has a plan for their life. And they're bold and brave and confident people who are willing to take action to bring their dreams into reality. The other people have mental conflict, maybe about making decisions that are best for everyone that's affected by their decisions. And they also could have mental conflict about taking more bold, brave, confident action in their life. And they think, no, I need to do whatever I think the world tells me I should do. And it's really kind of all in their head. Or they could have people in their life that tell them what they should do, and they never look at life from a higher perspective. They've maybe given up on believing in love and believing in their dreams. They might be people who don't like to make decisions that are best for everyone involved, don't like to be bold and brave and confident, kind of like conforming to the world instead of being transformed by the renewing of their mind. They also, the Five of Swords in shadow can be people who want to win at all costs, and they can, in shadowy areas, be bossy and controlling and more about themselves, their wants, their needs, their lusts, their greed, their pride, their ego. But they don't want people to know that. They could really want to look victorious and successful, like they look like a boss in the world, and that could be what drives and motivates them. Who should I get in a relationship with that would make me look like I'm over the past, that I've changed, that I'm a boss, that I'm making more stable, grounded, mature decisions in my life. But they really haven't done any of that. They're just hoping by getting in a relationship with someone, it'll make them look like they've done that. The other people really have done that. And some people who want to invest in some other people are wondering, do those people have those people changed? Some high vibe people might want to be in a relationship with you, but they wonder, are you really over the past? Have you changed? Are you someone who sees life from a higher perspective? Have you grown and matured yourself? Some of those people would like to invest in a relationship with you. There's other people that might want to invest in you, and they're wondering too, are you over the past or are you not? The Five of Cups, when a card's in reverse, it can mean extreme. Some people might think, because in our shadow nature, we're not seeing things clearly. Some people might think that you're really hurt about the past. And some people like to invest in people that are really hurt. Perfect. I can be bossy and controlling, and it can be all about me. Would you look at me like I'm a shining star? Would you look to me for all your wants and needs and not listen to your intuition and have hope and faith and belief and love? Would you make me the center of your universe so I can be bossy and controlling in a relationship with you? That'd be perfect. And some people that are shadowy are wondering, do you still have a lot of mental conflict about the past or about them? Are you still someone who they can kind of dominate and control? And if it's not you, I think everybody in the world, again, we have a dualistic nature. We live in a dualistic world. We're going to be confronted by different people in the world. Some are going to be in high vibe energy, some are going to be in low vibe energy. And we have our superpower, which was a gift given to us by the divine, to use our intuition, to be careful about who we invest our time, energy, effort, and hugs and kisses into. There might be people we're attracted to, but it's to be careful and take our time to get to know people to find out what is the truth that they're not showing. Are they over the past, or are they someone who doesn't even connect in with their emotions and their intuition? Are they kind of driven more by their worldly, I want what I want nature, lustful, greedy, prideful, egotistical nature? And if they're like that, I think you could say, I don't know that I'm going to take action towards you because I have mental conflict, because I don't think you're someone who's grown and matured yourself. And I've learned lessons from life experience and being in a relationship with people like that. And I am making good decisions in my life about who I invest in. I don't care to repeat a pattern of the past. If you haven't healed from past pain and heartbreak and, you know, realized how you contributed to those relationships not working out, seeing the truth of people you did invest in, that, you know, what their shadowy traits and characteristics are, and learn lessons from that life experience, then yeah, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. Let's go on to the next one. Then we have the Three of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. So the Emperor card and the Three of Wands are both Aries energy. You want to be in a relationship with people who harness high vibe Aries energy. It doesn't matter what zodiac sign they are. You know, it's just how they harness their Aries energy. You don't want to be in a relationship with people who harness shadowy Aries energy. People who think their dreams can come into reality by offering people the things of the world that they have. I can give you money. I can give you stability or security, or use my charm or my looks or my charisma or my social clout or my sex. You know, that's what I'm going to offer you to get my dreams to come into reality. Is that your dream? Are you up in your head about your dream coming into reality, that you're not going to listen to your intuition? And maybe, the Three of Wands being in fiery energy could be people that we're attracted to for some reason that we find attractive. Are you not going to listen to your intuition? Can they tempt you with these things of the world? Appeal to your pride, your ego, your fear, your insecurity, your want to be in a relationship, your ego, your image, blah, blah, blah. Can they tempt you with all those things to get you to not listen to your intuition and invest in a relationship with someone who's hiding? That they have a lot of mental conflict about making decisions that are best for everyone in a relationship? That they're really more about themselves and their wants and their needs and their lust and their greed? They might be people who harness shadowy Aquarius energy. They have mental conflict about the truth. That relationships are supposed to be based on love and truth and justice and fairness. They might like the scales to be tipped in their favor. They might like to be indulged in a relationship. Again, have people look at them as like, oh my gosh, you're my shining star, like you're my savior. If it weren't for you, how could my dreams possibly come into reality? You are the answer and solution to my problems in life. And then they hope you keep thinking that and make your life all about them. And then they hope in the relationship that you put aside your pride and ego because you want this dream to come into reality, but they're not going to put aside their pride and ego. It's all about them. And if you think that they're everything you could ever want and that your dreams maybe couldn't come into reality with anyone else, well, then I guess you won't listen to your intuition and you learn a lesson, and that's why we get drawn and attracted to people, because there's lessons to be learned. Nothing is wasted. That's why there's a key on either side. You're going to learn lessons either way. And if you do get in a relationship with someone like that, it's hoping that when you're in it, you'll start to see through the illusion and you'll no longer be deceived and manipulated, and you'll take the lesson you've learned from it to move on from this relationship to go get a different relationship. For some of you, you've already been in that kind of relationships and you've learned these lessons, and you're turning your back on people who are deceptive and manipulative, and you're offering resources to people for them to believe in their dreams and to get out of their mental conflict and to listen to their intuition, to not give up on their dreams, to invest in taking time to look at life from a higher perspective, to have hope and faith and belief that they can heal, and to not give up on their dreams and take action to bring their dreams into reality, because that's what you're doing. And as you move forward in your life, that's what you're going to offer to other people, is to encourage them to love and believe in themselves. That's the difference between high vibe people and shadowy people. The other people are trying to tempt people not to listen to their intuition, to be in their fear and their insecurity and up in their head about if their dreams will come into reality. So you should just stay in a relationship with me. You should indulge me in a relationship. We could look like we have it all. We can look like shining stars in the world, like we have everything that everybody in the world says that we should want. It's just not based on love. We might be attracted to each other and there might be passion there. Some people confuse lust for love. Some people right now are being deceived by someone who's offering them the things of the world. Some of them don't even care. Some of them might not even be lustful towards that person at all. But if that person has the things of the world that they want, that would make them look like their dreams have come into reality, they're willing to ignore the truth and try to confuse other people about the truth of why they're doing what they're doing. But they could be people who are more motivated by the world. They don't want to make decisions that are best for everyone involved. They only want to make decisions that are best for them. It's all about them. And if there's someone they can get in a relationship with that has those things of the world, that it seems like they would look like their dreams came into reality, like they're victorious and successful and they think other people will look up to and admire them, they want they don't want people to know the truth about why they're getting in that relationship, because they don't want people to view them as being deceptive and manipulative and egotistical and self-centered and materialistic, but they are. And those people might be fooling themselves, because you can hide the truth of who you are for quite a while and emotionally confuse people about the truth for quite a while, but eventually the truth comes to light and people see that people are not who they say they are, that they are more worldly focused, ego focused, materialistic, immature, indulgent, prideful, egotistical, bossy, controlling, self centered. So the only one they're really deluding is themselves. But they're hoping that people won't listen to their intuition about them. And for some of them, they're deciding to invest in trying to make themselves look like they're a shining star in the world, like they're victorious and successful, so that other people who don't know the truth about who they are will invest in them. It's like, come on, come on. Come get in a relationship with me. Look, I seem bold and brave and confident and successful in the world. I'll offer you these things of the world. Will you invest in me emotionally? I'll give you the things of the world. You give me love. I'm not going to give you love in return. I'll have sex with you. I might try to treat you the way you treat me, but I don't freely give of myself. I have mental conflict about love. I have fears about love. I have fears about being authentically myself and emotionally vulnerable in a relationship. So I'm going to create an illusion. I'm going to try to get you to invest in a relationship with me. And then I'm going to create an illusion about who I am, or once we get in the relationship, well, then I'm going to kind of distance myself from you because I really don't want to work together with people from a true, authentic, emotionally vulnerable nature. But if I got you into the relationship, well, now I've got you. And hopefully, if you're a loving, hopeful, believing person, you'll keep putting in work and effort to make this illusion dream come into reality. And I really don't have to do much work at all. I can just kind of indulge in it because you're the loving, nurturing, authentic person who believes in all these things. And I just get to sit back and indulge myself in a relationship with you. And I really don't have to be vulnerable and authentic because you're so caught up into the illusion that I'm like you that you think because I kind of do what you do in the relationship, but I don't really authentically really give of myself. And so you keep thinking I'm like you, but I'm not. For some people. And eventually, the people they get in relationship with see the truth. Because people who are more prideful, egotistical, defensive to love, and defensive to being hurt, and more about their wants and needs and ego, the other people eventually see the truth. It all comes crumbling down. The truth is revealed because it's an injustice. Some of you have already been, and they realize their dream can't come into reality with those people. And they wish them peace, and they move on, and they invest in loving themselves and not giving up on their dreams, and they invest in other people in the world, taking the lesson they've learned from that life experience to move on. So, depending on where some of you are, some of you have already done that, some of you are in the midst of it. Some people right now are in a relationship like that. And what the shadowy people in their life don't know is that the loving people in their life have been inspired to put in work and effort to heal and to grow and mature themselves, to offer love to their own fears and insecurities, and to heal from the past pain and heartbreak. And to change and to look at life from a higher perspective. Because being in a mismatched relationship is causing them a lot of mental conflict. And they could be people who've been trying to make good decisions in a relationship, putting in a lot of work and effort, being loyal, being committed, trying to motivate the people they're in relationship with to believe in themselves, to get out of their fears and insecurities and past pain and heartbreak, to take action in love and to let go of their more shadowy ways of being. And eventually, we can be in denial of the truth for quite a long time, but eventually we realize I can't keep staying in this relationship because it's an unstable relationship. If I'm in a relationship, well, my dreams aren't ever going to come into reality with them. We can love people and they never do the work within themselves to stop acting out of their shadow energy. So they keep making decisions out of fear and insecurity or ego or self centeredness. Everybody's got their illusions about how they think relationships should work. And, you know, everybody has this philosophy of life that's been ingrained within them throughout their lifetime. And some people invested and were motivated by love, and somewhere along the way, or because of the people they grew up with, or just themselves, they got more motivated and inspired and kind of more firmly entrenched in their more defensive or egoic or materialistic or emotionally defensive or self-centered nature. And to try to change someone's underlying philosophy of life, that is a huge foundational shift to how people dreamt that their life was going to be and how they imagined life was going to be and the types of relationships and how they felt people were going to act and behave and how they thought other people were going to be motivated and inspired in relationships. And when you get in a mismatched relationship, it'd be just as difficult for you to give up your dreams of being in a relationship based on love to make your life all of a sudden where you're more motivated and inspired by ego and image and materialism and, what are we going to wear today? And should we go talk to those people because that would be good for our social image cloud? I know I don't like them either, but they're really important or powerful or whatever. Can you imagine if you're not that type of person to fully embrace that way of living? Well, for someone who is like that, to give that up, oops, I got something on my phone. For those people to give up living their life that way, why do they live their life that way? Because that's how they derive maybe their sense of worth and value, because they haven't put in work and effort to invest in loving and believing in themselves and maybe loving themselves, So if they don't love themselves and don't respect and value themselves to be more independent in the world and less codependent on the world, they're very codependent on other people and the world for how they think all those people view them, for their sense of stability and worth and value, because that's what they look to for their sense of worth and value. And it'd be just as hard for those people to give that up as it would be for you to give up and become like they are. It's very hard to change your underlying philosophy of life. It could take decades of learning difficult lessons to realize, oh my gosh, this isn't working out the way I thought. So I think there's shadowy people that want to be in a relationship with you. They want you to give up on believing in yourself and believing in your dreams. And they want you to be more emotionally codependent on them and invest in this illusion with them that they're everything they say they are, which they're not. But they want you to invest in this illusion about who they are, that they're bold, brave, loyal, committed, but they're not. They're egotistical and self-centered, deceptive, manipulative. They live more from their mind than their heart, trying to manipulate people to do what they want. We could offer people love and truth and honesty and hope that would inspire people to want to invest in us. But shadowy people, if you're going to do that, you'd have to be willing to see through your fears, to be emotionally vulnerable and let go of this idea that aren't I like the smartest bulb in the box? Isn't it supposed to be all about me and my wants and my needs? Isn't it to try to manipulate people to do what I want because it's all about me? And there's people who are like that. And if you're not buying into the illusion and you wished in peace, but I'm detaching, that's not my dream relationship, to be in a relationship with someone who's deceptive and manipulative, trying to manipulate me. If your dream is all about looking like a shining star in the world and money and materialism and status and image, and that's where you drive your sense of worth and value, hey, I wish you peace, but I'm moving on. That isn't how I want to live my life. And some of you have already done that. And you've already, right now, some of you, you've already moved on from that one. And you're at the next phase of this reading, where there could be other people that you have communicated with that, I let go of that old dream. I let go of the people in my life, and I've dealt with my past pain and heartbreak, and I've looked at life from a higher perspective, and I've grown and matured myself, and I'm looking to invest in a new beginning with other people who harness high vibe Aries energy and high vibe Virgo energy. People who've went within to gain insight and wisdom from past life experience, who also want to invest in a dream. Other people who are willing to listen to their intuition, to step outside their comfort zone, to go into like unknown territory and be emotionally vulnerable and put an end to an old dream that was maybe more about the way we used to view life and the way we used to view relationships, and be bold and brave and confident enough to bring our dreams into reality, to let that old foundation go and way of viewing life, to believe in our dreams and listen to our intuition to guide us. And if we've invested and moved forward with some people who we found out were hiding that they're kind of immature and unstable and bossy and controlling, that we listen to our intuition and don't move forward with those people or in that way of being within ourselves, because we're motivated and inspired to grow ourselves to our full potential. We want to feel proud of ourselves that I really was bold and brave and confident enough not to indulge my more emotionally immature, unstable, me nature, to actually put in work and effort to listen to my intuition, to make good decisions in my life, to believe in myself and believe in my dreams enough to listen to my intuition, to not move forward and engage in that way of being, because my dreams aren't going to come into reality. Have I seen the truth that this is not the right way to go about it? Have I seen the truth about people I'm currently moving forward with in my life? Because for some people, they've, a relationship didn't work out and they could have had mental conflict, but they could have decided to invest in a different relationship because, they were mentally confused. And if somebody offered them a new beginning, are they now seeing that this isn't the right person I should be in a relationship with? Because they're not operating from a foundation of love. I need to retreat from that, and I need to take some time to look at life from a higher perspective, deal with my own fears, let go of an old dream, and maybe put in action and effort to really bring my dreams into reality. Was I settling for less than I deserved? Was it because I hadn't learned to love and believe in myself? Was it because I got caught up in illusion? Was it because I had fears of being more vulnerable? Was it because I was kind of immature and had lessons to learn? Did I get in a relationship with someone who seemed like they wanted a dream to come into reality, but they were really just indulging me for their own selfish, greedy, prideful, fearful, codependent reasons? Are they willing to grow to their full potential? Am I going to grow within this relationship, or are we just repeating an old pattern, making it seem like we're moving forward when really we're not? We're just investing in repeating the same old pattern over and over and over because we're unwilling to grow up, and we're kind of just indulging ourselves in the world. we'll all repeat that pattern, and we've all done it definitely when we were younger, because we had a lot of growing up and maturing to do. So I think some people right now are in those mismatched relationships. And with the deceptive, bossy, controlling people who kind of in their ego are like, I'm sure they'll want to move forward with me. I'm sure won't love and believe in themselves. I'm sure they'd never let go of being in a relationship with me because I seem like I have all these things that are coming to me in the world. You know, I look like, or I do have the status and the image and the social clout or the looks or the whatever, whatever they think they got. And some people are quite arrogant. And what they don't realize, because they're not paying attention, because they're really kind of full of themselves, is that the people they're in relationships with are doing this work to believe in themselves and believe in their dreams and to let go of the past pain and heartbreak. And those people are listening to their intuition. And their intuition is telling them that these kind of prideful, egotistical, emotionally immature, unstable people who are trying to build a foundation more on fear and codependency and envy and jealousy and lust and greed, that some of the high vibe people are going to let go of that dream and they're going to retreat from them in order to take some time to really think about if they want to move forward with those people anymore. And there might be people in their world because, again, we have a dualistic nature, and that means that duality exists in the world. There's other people in the world that we could align with other than the shadowy people who try to keep us in our fear and our insecurity, our more codependent nature, our more worldly, lustful, prideful, immature, indulgent nature. There's other people in the world who aren't trying to manipulate and control us, who are trying to encourage us to listen to our intuition, to love ourselves, to let go of a more, to maybe just let go of an old dream, which could have been more thinking, isn't it okay and won't I be happy if I'm just being an immature player and indulging myself in a relationship? Isn't it kind of just about having sex with someone? And if somebody seems to look like their dreams are going to come into reality in a worldly sense, shouldn't I just have sex with them? And then I get those things of the world too? It's like, it's probably not going to work out the way you think because, the shadow realm is kind of represented by the devil. It's not the truth. If people are indulging someone else who's in their ego nature, if that person sees someone else and that's what they're driven and motivated by, not love, if someone else comes along that's got more status, more image, more money, more willing to indulge them, they'll go get in a relationship with someone else because they're not in a relationship because of love. If they're in a relationship where someone is indulging them and they're like, well, gosh, don't I kind of have it made? I have someone who, is codependent, doesn't love and believe in themselves, doesn't believe in their dreams, they're willing to indulge me in a relationship. Well, I don't know if we'd feel very proud of ourselves, knowing that we're kind of not being truthful and honest and we're staying in a relationship with someone because we know they're kind of fearful and insecure of starting fresh or starting new or something. I don't think, and feeling proud of yourself is priceless, and not feeling proud of yourself of every day is awful. And it's also, neither person is kind of in an equal partnership, which challenges them to face their fears and, grow and mature themselves, they kind of just keep repeating a same old pattern, which stops them from having their dreams come into reality. You know, people have to be on the same page. People have to be motivated and inspired by the same things. If you're both immature and indulgent, fine. If you're both unstable and materialistic, fine. But to be in a mismatched relationship where someone, you know, they want their dream to come into reality, if you know you're not going to bring it into reality, I don't think that's good karmically. And there are consequences for our actions. Well, let's go ask. What's coming up for the people who harness high vibe Virgo energy? The people who are listening to their intuition, whether that means they're getting into a new relationship and letting go of a past dream with someone who is deceptive, manipulative, kind of immature, and they're moving forward with more bold and brave and confident people, or if they're leaving a relationship with someone who's like that and they're trying to heal. What's coming up for those people? The Seven of Wands, the Leo Strength card, the Five of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles because of the Star card. People in high vibe energy are standing up for themselves, and they're tempering their pride, their ego, and their fears and their insecurities because they have a dream. And if that means that they have got to detach from certain people in their life and go through a period of maybe feeling in lack or feeling left out in the cold, they're willing to do that because they can't stay where they are. It causes them too much mental conflict. It's too emotionally confusing. You know, again, if they're in relationships with people who are kind of prideful, egotistical, immature, take impulsive, reckless action in a relationship, you know, it's confusing. Why do they do that? And eventually we've got to see the truth that they're not motivated and inspired by the same things we are. And they want us to keep indulging them in being that way. And if we want our dreams to come into reality, we need to detach from people who harness their Leo energy in a shadowy way. They're defensive, emotionally defensive to love and being vulnerable, or they're prideful or egotistical or bossy or controlling or manipulative. And if we've been in relationships with people who like to present themselves as like a loving family person in the world, but then when they get in a relationship, they juggle people and they don't really invest to really bring the dream into reality. It's like, oh, well, I presented myself as loving so you would get in a relationship with me, but then I'm just going to juggle and the dream really isn't going to come into reality because I don't really like to invest in people. I operate more from my egoic nature and I use my emotions manipulatively to get what I want in a relationship, but I'm really not going to invest because that would require that I emotionally invest, and I could get hurt doing that, and I don't want to do that. So I thought once we got in the relationship, I could just juggle you and not really invest. And you're like, no, I'm not moving forward with people who are like that. And I'm not moving forward with people in my life who have shown me that they're defensive and prideful and maybe self-centered and egotistical. I am going to detach from people in my life from a place of love for myself, and I'm going to invest in getting balanced and maintaining balance within myself. And I'm going to move forward with other people in the world who temper their egoic nature to not be bossy and controlling and prideful and immature and indulgent and self-centered, who have detached from their more egoic way of life to take action from love. And those are the people I'm going to invest in. Other people in high vibe Capricorn energy who have freed themselves from their worldly, devilish, egotistical, self-centered, materialistic, immature nature. Because those are the people I could have my dreams come into reality with. What about the people who harness some shadowy Virgo energy, who like to get in relationships with people and then hide the fact, being deceptive, that they're actually kind of immature players and they have a lot of fear about being vulnerable and loving. And they're going to do things in the relationship to try to destabilize their partner so their partner doesn't love and believe in themselves anymore, so that their partner keeps looking to them as like, oh my gosh, without you my dreams couldn't come into reality, and even though you're immature and prideful and egotistical and bossy and controlling and deceptive and manipulative, I've given up on my dreams and I have to be in a relationship with you and I'll indulge you in a relationship. And they're like, perfect. What the shadowy people don't see coming, some of them, is that, yeah, some people are going to detach from them. You know, we can get in relationships with people and view them as being a very loving person. That's what the Empress energy talks about. But then in the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, if we see that they're people who aren't focused on love and aren't very self-aware in their Virgo energy, and their whole foundation could be upside down because they only operate from their worldly foundation. They don't connect in with maybe their emotions and their intuition. They could be people who are very, when a card's in reverse, it could mean extremes. They could be people who are very fearful, insecure, prideful, egotistical. They always, enough is never enough. They so badly want to be indulged in the world. You know, people couldn't give them enough. Enough is never enough. That would be like when the devil was in heaven, right? Well, this is all great, but this isn't enough, you know? And enough is never enough. They want it all. You can't be independent. You can't have your own dreams. You can't love and believe in yourself. I have to be the center of your universe. You can't listen to your intuition. There is no higher truth or justice that you're to aspire to. You're supposed to feel left out in the cold if you don't make me the center of your universe. It's kind of like the devil trying to present themselves as a loving person, like the devil trying to present themselves as God. But the devil is selfish and greedy and prideful and self-centered and egotistical and hurtful and unkind. And we were meant to learn lessons about being in relationships with people like that. And the people who are like that, what they don't see coming is that people are going to move on from them, and people are no longer up in their head about this person. And they might have the Ten of Pentacles. The Empress energy can mean people who have a lot of abundance in their life. And other people are detaching from them. I don't care how much money or status or how good looking you are or how much charm or charisma or social clout you have. I don't want to stay in a relationship with you for those reasons, and I'm no longer up in my head about it. And they could be the one who's left out in the cold, you know, which is kind of just and fair because shadowy people will do all these things in a relationship to make their partner not love and believe in themselves so that they do look to this person. It has to be all about them. And they'll be unkind and they'll be deceptive and they'll be immature and they'll be secretive and they'll do all these things to try to destabilize you, to make you not love and believe in yourself so that you will indulge them in a relationship. And when other people, oh, it kind of reminds me of this one. You know, it's like telling people, I don't believe you can withstand the storm. I'm going to do all this shit that's deceptive and manipulative and hurtful and unkind and secretive and immature. And if all those things don't work, I'm willing to let the relationship go with you because damn you, you keep believing in yourself and loving yourself. Then I'm going to go take action to go get in a different relationship, being deceptive and manipulative, hoping that will finally make you give up on believing in yourself. And when that didn't work and you keep moving forward, it's like, damn. And that's when they realize, shit, You told them, no, I am the storm. They thought they could bring chaos and disruption into your life and that you would love and believe in yourself and you would indulge them, someone who's shadowy, unkind, unloving, unjust, unfair, hurtful, unkind, and they thought you wouldn't be able to weather the storm. And now all of that has kind of backfired on them because you did love and believe in yourself and you detach from them and you're no longer up in your head about them or the people they hang out with. And you're giving birth to moving forward and they're going to be stuck repeating an old pattern, trying to find someone else. So they're thinking right now, who can I invest in? Who can I make an offer to? Who can I deceive and create an illusion about why that other relationship didn't work out? Because those people seem to be balanced and loving and bold and brave and confident. How can I manipulate that person about why that relationship didn't work out so I can get them to come get in a relationship with me and indulge me and get them to buy into the illusion that I'm the shining star? And then I think when they're in that relationship, they're always going to be really stressed out because they're always afraid that people will see through the illusion of who they are. It's all this big illusion of who they are. They don't take bold, brave, confident action in love. It's just to be an immature player, indulging in trying to create this illusion for as long as it lasts, where they can be indulged in their ego and their more immature, lustful, greedy nature. So I think people who are in mismatched relationships, some of the shadowy people are going to be shocked that the people who have been loving and encouraging to them are done and they're moving on. Because they maybe have decided, I do know people in the world who harness these energies in a high vibe way, and those are the people I want to go invest my time, energy, and effort into because I'm tired of investing, and I've learned the lessons I was meant to learn from these people, which is maybe to stand up for myself and temper my own fears and insecurities and to detach from my more egoic or worldly view of life to love myself and believe in my dreams and be more balanced within myself and look at life from a higher perspective. And that's why we can be drawn and attracted to some shadowy people because there's a lesson for us to learn from them. And again, we can get drawn and attracted to people who have similar wounding as us, but how we handle it is very differently, and it can be really confusing because we could have thought, that we were on the same page, and it could have worked if both people are willing to work on it. And like I say, there's some people right now that are working through those things. Everybody is letting go of the past. Neither one of them are investing in being like, well, I should be the boss, and they're both investing in the dream, and they're not being prideful and egotistical and up in their head. They're keeping perspective on the big picture and investing in bringing the dream into reality. And if both people do that in a relationship, that's a relationship that moves forward. It's just when we have different dreams and how we imagined relationships and how we wanted to be in relationships, and we have opposing ways of going about things. Those relationships, I think, some people will stay in them and eventually they'll see the truth that, it's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can keep trying to encourage people to grow up and mature themselves, and they can keep saying, no, I'm not going to do it. No, you need to indulge me. Nope, I'm going to be prideful and egotistical. Nope, it's all just about me. And if people want to keep indulging those people, they can, and it'll be an unstable foundation, and their dreams, they won't get their divine inheritance, that the divine plan for them, because they're not willing to get out of their ego to detach from that. and listen, take action in love, listening to their intuition. So they're going to stay in an unstable foundation. That's our free will, right? We all learn lessons from watching other people and the choices other people make in the world. It all serves a purpose. And other people will get out of it, and some people are just getting into them. And because they have lessons to learn. So that's why we offer our self compassion and forgiveness for the lessons we've had to learn. Sometimes we're the one who came into people's lives because we were kind of immature. Sometimes we're the catalyst in someone's life because we are just and fair and loving, and they get to see what that's like. They might reject it, but it's always going to cause a mental conflict because they've now been in relationships with people who are just and fair and loving. And because they rejected that, or you had to leave them, they always, maybe don't find relationships like that again because they didn't choose it. So there you go, Virgo energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.